Hey, good afternoon. Hope your weekend has been good so far. I have been doing pretty well with, taking care of my weekend commitments, and now I get to kick back and relax and show y'all this game, Army of Ruin, developed by Milkstone Studios, same guys who made Ziggurat, another game by theirs that I absolutely adore. This is their take on the whole style of gameplay that kind of got kicked off by Vampire Survivors. Your person on the screen, there's like a billion other enemies on there, and you gotta level up to get weapons and passives to defeat the ever increasing threat of the Horde. And won't tell anyone this, but I've put a bit of time into this, so yeah, just a little bit of time. Well, we'll start off with the simplicity so you can kind of see how this game plays out. But yeah, they try to sort of have length settings, so you can choose between like 1, 2, 3, which basically is about how many waves your session, your run will have, and how long it will take. And there's also the good old infinite mode, where you can try to keep going as long as you can until you finally fall. But we'll start with Graveyard 1, because it's the first one, easy one. Also have a ruin level, which kind of like modifiers. So just choose a rank and they'll stack on more difficult modifiers, but you'll get increased rewards out of it. So yeah, you can also see there's something of a rating system where you might complete it under certain conditions, and there's actually will get you unlockable stuff like characters, weapons, and trinkets. As for characters, go with them. So, which characters you might imagine is unique in their way. Each one has a different starting weapon, which all do different things. In this game, each character also has a skill, which you can think of like a limit break. So you can see here, you level up and you get a choice of weapons to pick up. And I will pick this shuriken bouncy blade here. Reminds me of the Ripper from Unreal Tournament. Or no, there's the Saw Blade's weapon from Ratchet and Clank. It's kind of like that too. What is it with games and making Saw Blades ricochet? That and boomerangs as well. I guess it's easy to imagine them just bouncing from thing to thing. I wonder if was Xena Warrior Princess's throwing rings might have had something to do with that. It's always fun seeing Xena just throw the rings and have them smack into like five enemies at once and see them all get taken down by that. So trinkets are what Army of Ruin calls passive items. You do have some ones that do basic things like increase attack damage and attack size and what have you. And you get ones that are a bit more involved, like the coin purse here, that not only increases the amount of money you gain, but also gives you a bonus damage for a limited time once you get money. So we get that. You also see here that on the bottom it says infuses element, and on the weapons they have evolution with like 2 elemental symbols. Those will come into play eventually. So, Army of Ruin also has a weapon evolution, and to evolve a weapon you must meet certain criteria. In this game, all you have to do is match the elements. So yeah, you can see on the bottom of the weapon here, Sylvan Shell evolves with 2 moons. That's the dark element, and you can see on the right as well. I'll just give you a quick reminder of what elements you need. So then the fun here becomes picking the particular set of trinkets to get the elements you need to evolve certain weapons. Although I guess there's a bit of a strategy to it too. If you don't want a weapon to evolve, don't get the particular elements. So far, all the weapons I've run into only require like 2 requisite elements, whatever they may be. There are 6 elements in the game. They're the ones you might expect for a video game. You have fire, ice, wind, nature, light, dark. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Pancake Man 24, how are you? Guess we can go with skill cooldown. Being able to fire off my ult a little more often is always helpful. Yeah, I guess, I mean, I know other survival games kind of change up their enemy arrangement like every minute, but this is like the one game I see that kind of explicitly spells it out for you. This is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, and it happens every minute, so it's nothing new. They just kind of let you know right out the gate. No, this is a new wave here. I'm good. How's the game? This game's pretty fun. It's been scratching that right itch of the kind of pretty easy to get into gameplay and carrot on the stick of unlocking like a zillion new things. Because this game has a lot of things to unlock, right? New weapons, new trinkets, new characters. They even have a separate section for features. They just straight up call them features, right? And some of them are features, right? Like one of them you can get is like a turbo mode, which lets you play the game faster, but other of them feel like power-up systems. So one of the features you can unlock is like elemental overload. You can see it on the right, on the left there below the weapons. If you get like multiple trinkets of the same element, you can get like a pretty significant stat boost in one of the stats there. It's all symbols, so I know it's like not very readable, but it's the kind of thing you start recognizing after a bit. It's one of the fun things I like about games, right? It's like, you know, you jump in there, you like bamboozles you, confounds you, just like, what does all of this mean? And then, you know, you keep playing, and things start becoming clearer. At least you understand it more. And eventually you start like piecing things together, like, oh, hey, what's a good combo of trinkets and weapons, or like what weapons should I get and what weapons should I not get? Oh dang, I already took a light element. Not that I can't take more, obviously they want me to take more because of overload, but I think the way I'm going, I probably want like one of each of the 6 elements. How many do I have? Let's see, nature, wind, fire, dark, light. Okay, I got all 6. So I guess one of the other features I could say you can unlock is the ability to get more weapon and trinket slots, because this game only starts you off letting you hold up to like 4 weapons and 4 trinkets. You gotta buy the other 2 of each of those slots. It's kind of a way, I guess, to make you feel like you're getting stronger, because I know I was pretty satisfied when I was able to get a 5th weapon, knowing that would be a fairly significant power boost. Same deal with the trinkets. Because more trinkets means a little bit more flexibility in what you pick. That's one of the things I like about Army of Ruin, right? I do apologize for comparing it to Vampire Survivors, but it's like a pretty direct inspiration. But you know how Vampire Survivors, the way weapon evolution worked in that game, you needed a specific passive item, right? If you had the knife, you needed to get the speed gloves. If you had the whip, you needed the I think it was the HP increasing heart. In this game, it's a bit more lenient, right? You don't need a specific trinket to evolve a weapon. You just need something within the same category, right? Any nature trinket would help me evolve the bow and the gauntlets and the meteor and the toxic stench. I have the armor of thorns, but I could have also taken the seal purity, and that would have also counted. I guess to balance that out, you need 2 elements, 2 of the like corresponding elements to evolve. But even then, the flexibility is there, right? I have the travel boots here, infuses wind gets me plus speed. There are other trinkets out there that also infuse wind that have different effects. Any one of those will count towards evolving the particular weapons. That's one of the things I like about this, right? Because imagine everyone's had that Vampire Survivors run where you're leveling up like 20 times, waiting for that specific passive you need to evolve the weapon you want to evolve, and it never ever comes up, even after re-rolling and banishing like an absolute mad lad. This one, thankfully, gives you a little mercy, right? There are still certain items that you might want to look for, but even if they don't come up, you're not completely up the creek without a paddle, right? Might also notice there are big pickups around here, just like Vampire. Oh my god, I need to stop comparing it to Vampire Survivors. But anyways, there are pickups on the screen, right there. You see the health restoring things. Other ones that give you a temporary buff in certain areas, like these boots here, will increase my speed for a while. Also does an initial pushback of everyone, which I actually like that, right? It's a pretty good synergistic effect, right? That way you don't just pop the boots, accidentally run into an enemy, and then die. You do have a bit of leeway to just, point yourself in the direction and just go. And after that, you can start playing dodge enemy as you need to make your way to where you need to go. You also see there's a purple skull marker there. That's an optional boss. It's another feature you can unlock. It's like a regular boss that occasionally shows up during a run, except you gotta go to them because they won't go to you. And if you defeat them, they drop a chest for you, which has money and some free level ups. Should be another feature that should pop up after a certain point. I'll talk about it once it shows up. Guess also should mention level cap is 5 for both trinkets and weapons. Since I have level 5, I get a weapon evolution. So this is the Ethereal Razor. It's the evolution of the ancestral razor, the not shuriken. As you might expect, evolutions usually give a pretty substantial upgrade to the weapon. So, for example, this razor here now goes through obstacles. So I'll just seek out enemies with impunity, which is what makes it so awesome. Ah, there we go. The pink crown. That's another feature. You don't get it at the start, but it does get unlocked over time. Let me make my way over there. So this is a little king of the hill type of zone here. You just gotta hang on to this spot while the little pink area grows and make that crate materialize. Turn it from an untextured object into a properly textured object. I wonder if they'll change that effect for the full release. Anyways, these are trinkets. You can think of them like extra passive items. What they do is just give you a boost in an area while, decreasing another stat somewhere. The twist here is that if you have the right set of elements, you will get the effect, the boost will become much more substantial. So, for example, you can see growth gives me 30% attack size, but if I get the right elements to boost it, I double that effect, and no matter what, it's minus 10% speed. So yeah, I'll probably take this one. Yeah, you can see the one on the top was a plus 30% attack, but that's all I get because I didn't get the corresponding elements in my trinket set. So it's another sort of get strong mechanic, but with a different twist to it. sitting here pretty nicely. Got like a couple of AoE weapons and some more direct fire. Just keep upgrading Toxic Stench. Always something fun about just having a damage radius around you, right? It's like a weapon you don't even need to think about. You just need to just point your character towards a group of enemies and then watch them all fall as they futilely try to reach you. And if they try to get too close, well, then you got the orbiting meteors to just deal the last bit of damage you need to stop them. Yeah, probably pretty apparent, but yeah, there are boss enemies. They drop chests. Sometimes it'll give you free level ups, and other times, if you do meet the evolution requirements, it'll evolve a weapon for you. Nice thing is that you can usually tell if a weapon's going to be an Evo chest or a not Evo chest, depending on what pops out. If it's just coins, you're going to get free level ups. If it's popping out crowns, then you're gonna get yourself a weapon evolution. Like right here, it's coins, so it's just gonna be level ups. But you know what? I'll take it. Let's see. This run's only gonna be 10 minutes, but we have an optional boss all the way to the right, or east. I'm gonna go Dennis and see if I can reach the optional boss in, looks like 2 minutes! I got 2 minutes to walk my way there. I am somewhat amused that the animation they have here is a walking animation. It's like a very brisk walk. You can just imagine them just briskly walking through this area here and taking on the horde. Gotta get your cardio even when you're fighting for your life against the evil army. Alright, I got 1.5 minutes to go. Oh man. It's not just a battle for survival, it's a race against time as well. Ooh, hey. Like any good survival game, you got the experience suck. It just sucks in experience. It's real good. It's real good. Look at that. All that leveling up I get to do. Ooh, 3 of them. Oh, another one. Let me just up the speed, maybe give ourselves... Okay, wow. I left a lot more experience on the field than I thought I did. Ooh, boy. And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. Bent to the rules, and they hit the ground. Oh, there we go. It's over. Pretty significant boost, all things considered. You know, I think I've only used my skill once. Maybe I should remedy that. This is my favorite part about one of these types of games, right? You get the wave that's just... Yeah, this is basically the experience wave. You just go around and kill this gigantic horde of enemies and just pick up all the experience and level up like a bazillion times from it. Anyways, what sort of Evo will we get from this one? Oh, wow! It's an Evo and a free level up. Very nice. I like it. Anyways, let's try to get ourselves some level ups before we hit the 10-minute mark. Yeah, we go. Emerald Ring. I wonder if they'll like put in an achievement for not getting hit. Feels like these types of games, that's going to be a very challenging thing to do because it's basically just gotta keep on top of the DPS because that's the best way to make sure they don't hit you, right? This is to take them out before they even get a chance. As the old saying goes, the best defense is a good offense. Here's like, there we go. See, final wave. They just let you know straight up what it is, and the boss. As if that wasn't enough, you get the meter on the bottom that you know. Yeah, this is the boss. This is a boss-ass boss here, and take him on. Of course, it's a first area boss, so not very difficult. Nice part about this game is that when the boss first comes out, it's just them for a bit. You do get the minions that come out a little bit later, but you get at least a few seconds to go ahead and get your first bit of DPS in on them. And this is a fun post-match feature I like. Post-run, I should say. You get your list of things here. It's like, oh, hey, how much time did you spend with each weapon? How much damage did they do? What was their average DPS? You get the final build, and on the right, you get the heat map. Just shows you where the heck you walked, right? I don't know if that's like useful for anything, but it's kind of a fun thing to note. It's like, I guess it lets you confirm things one way or another. It's like, oh my god, look at me just walk all the way east just to get at this one thing I really, really, really wanted. So, yeah. And then at the bottom, you get to see your kind of determination of rewards. So, 1,750 gold approximately for that I collected during the stage, 250 for completing it, and unlocks just a special screen for that, right? You can see their characters, weapons, trinkets, features. I like how they straight up call it features and charms. It is a nice running total, just to let you know how close are you to getting all the things. And then the list of recommended challenges down here is like, hey, no idea what to do next. Here's a little guidance. What do you want to check out? All right, and that's kind of the loop, right? You go in, do a run, maybe try to complete some criteria if you want, get your unlocks, rinse, repeat, and it's a pretty good loop, right? Plenty of carrots on a stick so far. So let's see if we can perhaps step it up a little bit. Gonna try Forge Ruin level 2. Yeah, you can see the modifiers down there. It would be nice if you could like have some way to have it explained to you. It's like meteor shower. I can kind of guess what that does, but it'd be nice to have some sort of description out there too. Like maybe meteors will randomly fall onto the field. Watch out, or something like that. Anyways, challenges are 1, complete the stage. There's always going to be one complete the stage challenge, and then the other one will usually be some extra criteria, like complete the stage with a particular character, particular weapon or trinket, and sometimes it's get to a certain level or upgrade a weapon or a trinket to a certain level or get a certain amount of money. Yeah, let's see. This one's just ice mirror, so shouldn't be too bad. I feel like the best runs I have are usually with lanes, only because they have their skill is drops a poison bomb, performs a quick evasive move. That's like it's an invincible move, right? It's a quick kind of get out of a hairy situation. You find yourself surrounded, just press that and just get the heck out of there. It's pretty much a panic button. That's what it is. It's a panic button. I like having panic buttons. Something that gives me a little breathing room or lets me escape a situation that I might realize is unfavorable to me. Also, if you played Ziggurat, you might like recognize some of these sound effects from Ziggurat. Like the victory and the defeat and the kind of game start sound effects, and also the level up. They're very familiar if you've played Ziggurat. Not that they're mine, right? Because Ziggurat sound effects are like very good. That said, I know I said that Lanes' skill is a good panic button, but I also like it as an offensive tool, right? Because you do drop the poison bomb, so you can just waltz into a crowd and then use the escape period to kind of get the heck out. Spears are fun. So there is an upgrade that lets you upgrade the number of projectiles that come out of a weapon. For the spear, it just increases the amount of times it comes out, which is kind of fun. It feels flavorful, right? Because you can imagine like the characters like repeatedly jabbing the spear out like they're Kulik with the staff. Just jabbing it into the enemy's chest. Let's see. Oh, wow. All my weapons require just wind, darkness, and fire so far. Maybe I'll go for like an overload just to show you how that works out. Yeah, some of the trinkets do have more unique effects, like the one I just picked up is just like, yeah, every few seconds we'll just automatically kill some of the minions. Which does help with, you know, thinning the horde, as it were. Yeah, I know this game's been out for a while. It's kind of astounding, just the volume of stuff they have in this game already. It's a lot to do, right? It's a lot of pretty similar things, all things considered, but there's a reason why this particular style of game took off as well as it did. This is a kind of game where you can, you know, fire up another stream, another podcast, or something like that, and listen to it while you just casually killing enemies over here. I don't know what weapons I require ice, but I really like this one. The substantial damage boost. That said, you do get an attack size decrease, which I think about it, that's actually going to be harmful because I know 2 of the weapons here do benefit from a size increase. That being said, we could always pick up another charm or a passive trinket that helps offset that penalty. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get the magic needle. I do find it interesting what elements they associate with which trinkets, right? Some of them make sense, right? There's an item called Dragon Heart that straight up increases damage. And of course, it infuses fire because, yeah, dragons of fire, yeah, that absolutely fits. Yeah, you get some of them that have some that require you to jump through a bunch of hoops. Like you got the Gloves of Harmony here. Get yourself a attack size damage boost for every light/dark trinket that you have in your loadout. It's like one of those things where it's like very good if you're picking up specific things, and if you're not picking up those things, why would you ever pick this up? Forget. I think Magic the Gathering had a term for that kind of thing where for cards that have like certain mechanics that really want you to just play more of those types of cards and nothing else really. Is it insular? I think it's like insular mechanics, something like that. It's like trying to think. Like back when they did Splice with Kamigawa, right? All their Splice cards back then had like Splice into Arcane, and so very specifically wanted you to play, you know, Splice and Arcane cards, and you really didn't want much else in there because, well, nothing else really interacts with Splice and Arcane. It can be fun sometimes, but it does feel like you get pigeonholed other times as well. Or, what was the other one? Energy, right? I forget which set that came from, but, right? Yeah, like the certain cards that generate the energy, and then other cards that would that you could spend energy to do stuff with. It's like, oh my goodness. Guess I'll take Frozen Shard. Yeah, projectiles backward. I also have a weapon, right, the daggers that shoot projectiles forward. So this lets me shoot projectiles in every direction. So let's get that. Charged right into its death. Yeah, you do have bosses that do some unique things in here too, right? You saw that enemy that was charging right towards me. You have some others that kind of stay stationary, but usually just lob projectiles at you. Oh, right. I forgot. I need to find the ice mirror. I need that to, like, show up at some point. Hopefully it'll show up at some point. I think I only need to complete the stage with the ice mirror. No, we'll just get the battle cog. And at least take weapons out of the random pool. But you'll notice that none of the weapons I picked up require a fire infusion, so I can safely ignore fire trinkets, which gives me a little bit of leeway, which means I can continue keeping on the lookout for ice trinkets. I just need to make sure I only pick up like one of every other. Sorry, I meant nature. I don't have any nature. I do have fire. But yeah, you know, don't get shackles, because none of my weapons evolve off of that. Don't worry about those anymore. Need to focus on finding ice mirror. You know, complete people had was you know, there's specific challenges that do require specific weapons or trinkets, and it does get a bit disheartening when due to RNG that particular weapon trinket doesn't show up. Because I was like, oh well, I guess just gotta end the run, get back in there, or just gotta go through this whole run that it's not gonna count for anything other than a little stack of money. So they did have like one of the updates that said, yeah, if there are trinkets or weapons that are needed to complete a challenge, they are now twice as likely to show up in the random list. So hopefully that does alleviate some of the pain of the RNG a little bit. You may have noticed I also have banishes and rerolls, and they do exactly what you think they would, right? Rerolls, just reroll the entire level up set, so you get a new set, and banishes remove a thing from the list for the rest of a run. Notably, you can't banish items that you own, so you can't say, for example, since I have the ice needle, I can't banish the ice needle anymore. So that's gonna get leveled up. That's gonna remain in the list. So you're gonna see that. There it is, ice mirror. I think the challenge only requires me to finish this level with the ice mirror, right? Yeah, okay. So I just gotta pick this up and make sure I don't die, and then we'll be good to go. Ah, man, this is one of the things that gets agonizing sometimes. Like, oh man, I'm already like a good amount of the way towards this optional boss, but there's a trinket that I could, or sorry, a charm that I could pick up that's in the opposite direction. Well, once I defeat this boss, I'll just have to swing back around. Hopefully, the next optional boss won't appear further away from the trinket, because if that's the case, well, I guess I'm going through this run without any more charms. Keep saying trinkets. But no, trinkets refer to the passive items. Me. Charms are the things that come out of the pink crown boxes. And I got an experience score. Well, you know what? More experience can't hurt. Okay, I need a light element. Alright, I'm gonna start aggressively banishing. So we'll boot the war drums. Yeah, interesting enough, when you banish, thankfully, It just removes that thing and then slots in another thing for you, so you can just keep doing this until you run out of banishes. Alright, so we've banished three trinkets that will hopefully... Hey, there we go. Onyx coin. This one's a fun item. So its effect is when you get money, you get a percentage of experience, right? That's just a hard percentage. Doesn't matter what level you are. So they actually had to like nerf this several times. So it used to be just you got a percentage of experience, but then they put in other stipulations like, yeah, we're gonna cut the percentage gain in half. And then they finally went with just, yeah, after level 30, it just gives you a set amount of experience. It's no longer a percentage increase. Because there are other things that are in this game that kind of makes that coin broken if they just let it run unchecked. So it's still a good item to have. It's no longer the absolutely busted trinket it once was. So I think like when I was starting out for a good while, I would pick up like the coin and the scroll in like every run because that would just, you know, get me a bunch more levels. Sure, that would only mean like I only have 4 others for stat boost, but you know, when I could level up like all my other stuff and just make them stronger, then I would be able to, had I not picked those experience boosters up. I felt like the trade-off was worth it. Yeah, it's one of the things I like about Army of Ruin, right? They have a bunch of trinkets, and a lot of them do some unique things, right? Like the Ice Mirror. It's not just a straight stat boost. It's actually an item that like freezes everything on the screen every few seconds. I think things like those are kind of cool. But you try to perhaps formulate some other sorts of unique strategies with them. Like you might have seen in the level up list, there were some other items there that decreases enemy health, right? Another unique effect that you don't see too often, but and there's another one that decreases enemy speed, and there was the one I picked up last run, right, where it's like I got hit, pushes everyone back, and then there's the one I banished, right? It's like when you activate your skill, deals damage to everyone on screen, basically turns your skill into a smart bomb. Yeah, all sorts of cool things that kind of give a run a bit more uniqueness to it. Right, and it might let you switch up your strategy on the fly. Yeah, right. You can start noticing synergies too, right? The trinket that deals damage every time I do a skill. Well, what if I also got the trinket that decreases my skill cooldown? That means I could use my skill more often and damage everyone on the screen more often. Or, like I said before, Parchment of the Scholar, plus coin. Big experience boost, tons of levels. Just make everything bonkers strong. Oh, wow. That's the only thing about the chest, is that the only distinction they make is between whether you will get a weapon evo or not. Right, there's no more elaborate animation that comes if you get like a bazillion free level ups as opposed to just one. And again, this doesn't seem to be like the type of game that that's like irreverent. It's I wouldn't say it's serious, but it's definitely not. It's not meant to be silly. Okay, 1.5 minutes. I wonder if I have enough time to run back over and get at least one charm. So again, Lanes' skill has multiple uses, right? You could use it offensively, you can also use it defensively, or could just use it if you need to go in a certain direction a little bit more quickly for a short time. It's nice. It's nice like that. There we go, wave 10. I swear, it's not like wave 10 in every map is a free, kind of like a free EXP wave. At least I don't think it is. Yeah, you can see here they just throw out a bunch of tiny minions at you with... It's just like, experience here, get your free experience, free level ups. Make your weapons and trinkets as powerful as they can be before the boss of the stage comes out. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna make it before the boss arrives. That being said, thankfully the charm spots don't disappear. I think the only thing that disappears when the boss wave begins is the optional bosses. Once you kind of hit the final wave, you no longer can work towards optional bosses. You can still try to collect chests and trinkets, or charms. I keep mixing those up. But, yeah. Eventually, you're gonna have to face them one way or another. Yeah, you can see the boss teleports to make sure that they keep close on you the whole time. They're like a horror movie antagonist in that way. Like Jason freaking Voorhees. Yeah, you can see here this boss has a unique thing where they shoot out a projectile at you. It's like an invincible enemy. Don't want to touch it because it's gonna hurt. So here we are. Hanging on to the spot will probably be trickier now that we got, a big-ass boss, but we'll see if we can hang on to this spot in any case. I do have an escape button ready. Uh-oh, they're approaching. Or I just might end up, like, defeating them before all is said and done. Oh, come on. Oh my god! Ugh! Ooh, and my escape button is ready, too. Alright, what do I want to pick up? I don't know why, like, majority of the 3-element charms I have require the nature element. That said, I only have, like, half the charms unlocked, so maybe the other half that don't require as many nature elements is in there. Sometimes it might be advantageous to just pick up a charm that you might not get a boost out of, only because... right, the boost you have might... yeah, like this one, right? We're not going to get the boost out of it, but we will get additional attack damage. That said, it is minus size, which will harm some of my other weapons, but I feel like at this stage, since I'm only fighting the boss, I don't need to worry too much about size. I just need to focus of fire. I guess I didn't need that escape button, so I'll just use it offensively. Yeah, it's all about just, keeping distance, making sure you stay out of the areas of attack. Make sure you don't eat too much damage. Try to juke the saw blades, and then eventually the boss will fall, just like that. Victory! Stage cleared. So yeah, addition to the map. If you've completed challenges, they'll let you know on the right. Hey, you managed to complete the stage with the ice mirror. Also, you managed to straight up complete the stage. Well done. Yeah, only dealt like 1,000 damage with lanes. So maybe her skill really isn't meant to be offensive. It's probably better used as either escape button or a get to place quicker button. Yeah, you can see here, Spectral Dagger really pulling its weight also. Man, path I took really wasn't that complex. It was just like, yeah, go west, then go east. In any case, we got ourselves a new trinket that can now appear in our runs. More drops from elites, 10% luck. So yeah, you can see only halfway through with getting characters and charms, but we're getting pretty close with weapons and trinkets. And of course, all the features they currently have are unlocked. All right. So the other part of games like these, upgrades. Spend the money you collect to increase your stats to give you a little edge in your future runs. So you can do things like boost your damage, fire rate, size, projectile speed, etc. Certain of these have caps, like your skill cooldown. You can only increase 10 times. Same with speed, pickup range, so on. Others are uncapped. You can keep spending money to level them up, but after a certain point, they have a soft cap that where the increase becomes much smaller. So you can see here, damage. I have hit the soft cap. First 10 levels you spend it on increases damage by 5%, but now is just 1%. So the only reason you want to spend money in here is because you need a money sink. Not quite there with fire rate, size, and everything else just yet. I like how they call the money boosting upgrade interests. Yeah, you can also spend on things like, yeah, you see here, weapon capacity. Like I mentioned before, you start with 4, but you can increase that up to the standard 6. Same here with trinkets, projectiles. This is a very expensive one. Extra lives, fairly expensive. You also can spend on rerolls and banishments, and I do like how they do try to. These rows are kind of, you know, they do try to organize them in a way. So the top row is all about making your weapons punchier. This one's about just, you know, making your character a bit improved in certain ways. This one's like all survival stuff related things. And then you got miscellaneous down here. Let's see, 6,900 gold. Nice. What should I spend it on? Might as well boost my fire rate. We'll keep going on that until we hit the cap. Probably one more level, and then we'll be there. So yeah, every upgrade you purchase increases the cost of the other upgrades. Thankfully, it's not by much, and also it's not every upgrade on this menu here. It's just like everything in a certain range. I think it's like per row, or at least per group. There's a grouping to all of this. Yeah, you can also check out your unlocks, right? See what you have so far. See what you need to do to get the rest of the stuff. Get the rest of the characters. Same deal with weapons and trinkets. Same deal with features and charms. Like you see, I have a significant number of charms. Lock. You can also go over here to just see what all challenges you have left to complete. Yeah, let's go to the forest. We haven't gone to the forest yet. We'll try Forest 2. Complete the stage, and complete the stage with Buckler. Alright. Which character should I go with here? Let's go with Tabia. See how that does. So I've picked a 2 version of a stage, so there's going to be 15 waves. The runtime is going to be 15 minutes. That's another thing I should note, is that when you first unlock a weapon, you don't have like the evolved version right away. You have to max out the base weapon first before they unlock the ability to evolve it. That's one thing to keep in mind. This is just another carrot on the stick that they've implemented. And given the number of runs you'll probably be doing in a game like this, doesn't matter too much. I don't think I've evolved the landslide yet. That being said, you notice it has 2 ice, so I need 2 ice trinkets, which, you know, does kind of, you know, put me down the path, right? It's like you can't get 1 of each element. You gotta sacrifice 1 element to get 2 of another. Yeah, we'll go with landslide, see how this goes. Oh wait, there's a specific... I have to remember the challenges too. I think they wanted me to pick up a specific trinket. It was the buckler, right? I had to keep an eye out for the buckler. Make sure I pick trinkets related to the weapons as well, so I can evolve them, or avoid the ones I don't want evolved. Like 9 times out of 10, choosing to not evolve a weapon. It's like usually not something you have to consider, because most of the time the evolution is just a straight upgrade to the base weapon, but there are like a handful of weapons that do have yeah, there we go, there's our buckler. For some reason it's ice element. That's just the most defensive element you can think of, right? Barring the lack of like a fire or earth element, ice is probably the closest thing you get. So yeah, the set's required. Yeah. Ultimate is decoy, which just draws people to that instead of you. Like, I really don't know if that's like better or worse. It's that does feel like an evasive one, but I don't know, I feel like that's like less of a panic button and more of a like temporarily get the crowds off your back kind of button. I think duration would help very much. Viking Helm does give you a substantial damage and fire rate boost, but you do have to be below 50% health. I think that's kind of like anti-synergistic with the buckler, right? The buckler is there to help defend me. But I want this item here that wants me to be hurt to a certain degree, so I think I'll just take and boost a crossbow for now. Yeah, you can see there the enemies that spawned other enemies. Yeah, I'll go with Bracer. You always gotta have those types of items in your games, right? The ones that are very boring, that only boost 1 stat, but you know what? They're good at what they do. They're very practical in that sense. I always like those types of items. Sure, I guess it's just because it helps make the ones that are like a bit more complex stand out. It's like with entire armory of things that do all these fancy ass effects. You got, yeah, one that just straight up increases your damage. I don't know. Sure, it's not like super duper flashy, but it does what it does very well. No strings attached. You just get the damage boost like that. Everything gets stronger just like that. Let's see. I require 5 elements. Okay, so, or no, that's only 4 so far. So if I ignored wind and light, I could probably pick up another fire. Yeah, you can see on the overload section too, because I have 2 ice elements. Now I get a larger increase to, I want to say that's cooldown? Skill cooldown? I think that's what that is. But yeah, if I pick up this quiver, I'll get a substantial boost to fire rate. Of course, that means I would have to ignore all weapons and trinkets that have like light or wind in their thing. Hey, you know what? Let's do it. Sometimes you gotta mix things up, right? You can't stick with what you're familiar with all the time. You gotta branch out and try out some new things, because you never know. It might end up being like super cool sometimes. That being said, there is a certain amount of comfort that one can get with the familiar. Ooh, see, I can pick up a weapon like this, because I got 2 fire infusions. Let's go. At this point, I think there's like enough weapons out there that I can like get all 6 and still meet the evolution criteria for all of them. Like no matter what sort of unless I go like to the extremes and like pick like 3 light, 3 dark or something like that, I'm not gonna have much trouble with getting enough weapons to satisfy particular requirements. Quiver is like a particular favorite of mine because it adds projectiles, and as you can imagine, more projectiles means more damage. You can see they did try to offset it by saying, yeah, you get 1 more projectile, we're just gonna decrease your attack damage overall, but even then, it's like, just having another projectile on the screen either let you hit more enemies or just concentrate your fire on that same enemy even more. It's pretty substantial jump in damage. I think I just need 1 nature and 1 dark. Oh, see, you got something like the golden trident, ice fire. So as long as I find yeah, a dark trinket and a light, or a dark trinket and a nature trinket, I should be able to evolve all of my weapons. Of course, the time limit is another story. I find that usually we have a stage 2 setting of each area, which is 15 waves, and then there's a 3 version of like each area, which gives you 20 waves, 20 minutes. I feel like that's usually like enough time to get your weapons max leveled and evolvable. About these optional bosses is that they're always far away, so you have to make a significant trek. You have to kind of go out of your way to make your way to them, which makes sense. They're optional for a reason. Kind of have to work a bit if you want your extra chest. Sometimes the cards fall in your favor and you get a charm drop, like also in the same direction. It's only a slight diversion. I'm gonna start banishing things and re-rolling, see if I can get the ones I want. Yeah, even with the more lax requirements of getting the evos, I do find myself I need nature, right? Yeah, do that, and yeah, what the heck? We'll wait for the next level up. Maybe that'll be the one. Just upgrade the buckler for now. Alright, here we go. King of the Hill. I was never good at King of the Hill type games. Back when I played Overwatch a lot. Whatever they called King of the Hill. Was it like Control Point? Whatever. Yeah, that... This suck even more when... Yeah, it's another thing about this game is that they do have, enemies that are just straight up invincible, right? You see immune pop up off of them, it's just to let you know, yeah, you can't hurt these. Oh. Probably the one time where, a decoy would actually come in useful. Okay, nice 15% enemy speed. Alright, you know what, I can settle with that. Yeah, the benefit for just having elemental requirements thankfully comes into play there. Oh my god, why was it? I guess I could go for an experience boost. It's early enough in the run that I'll probably get benefit to this. That being said, Thorns damage, probably a good idea too, especially since it's boosted. And I am getting hit a lot, so anything that touches me is going to be eaten with a significant amount of damage, so yeah, maybe I'll go with Retribution. It's kind of weird that the Retribution charm has a picture of an armadillo on it. Armadillos, usually they roll up to protect themselves. It's not to, you know, hurt other people. That being said, I can't think of an animal that would deliberately roll up because they have a spiky back or something like that and they know they could hurt you with it. Oh, wait. Porcupines. Yeah. I'm dumb. Porcupines. Why not a porcupine? I mean, porcupines like appropriately fearsome, right? You see them. I only seen like pictures of them in books, and I'm already like pretty freaked out by them. Like, it's just a goddamn animal that has spikes on its back. That's that's already fearsome enough as it is. And you know, they always tell you is like, yeah, those things can like go straight to you, and you know, the way to deal with, you know, getting porcupine needle stuck in you is to just let them run right through your body. That's, oh my god, I do not want to contend with a porcupine. Like, I know they only do so, they only like do their spikes, they only release their spikes when they're like provoked, but I don't know, the fact that they just have spikes at all just makes me uncomfortable. So, like, I know they can be like absolute sweethearts if you treat them properly, but the risk is always there. Ourselves another. Oh, this is the first optional boss I'm facing. There are some objectives in certain runs that require you to defeat every optional boss as a particular character. Thankfully, it's only ever a specific number. You see... Oh, I'm covering it up, but yeah, on the bottom right, you'll see like running stats, like the amount of money you have, the amount of enemies you've killed, the amount of optional bosses is one of the stats they have. Should probably move myself after this one. Actually, I could do that right now. Why not? That right now. Let's see. Oh, our VC face. Oh, here we go. I think over here. See how that goes. Okay, yeah, alright. So yeah, you see the bottom right, the money counter, the kill counter, and the optional bosses counter. So yeah, there's a specific number of optional bosses depending on the game's length. So yeah, if it's like a rule of thumb, every 5 waves you gotta defeat an additional optional boss. So you do have to put in some work to make your way to them. But you know, once you get all of them, you do get yourself free chests with free upgrades. I guess Notch here becomes, well, knowing when the waves are that don't have the things with the big experience, so you can start walking your way towards the optional bosses. This is also another common wave type in this game, where you got like the wall of strong enemies, but if you manage to fell them, you get like a big, pretty substantial experience boost. I guess you could think of it like a DPS check in that way. So yeah, I defeated all the biggins. So I'm gonna start walking towards the bottom. Wave 9 of 15. I guess you can also see it on the top, but they do have like, oh, no, it's like stepped in a trap. Yeah, you can see on the top they also have like meters, kind of showing you the cooldowns of certain items. So, yeah, once that meter fills up, they fire off, and you'll see like certain trinkets have them too, kind of show you the cooldowns of their abilities. Like the ice mirror I had in the other run had that sort of cooldown to let you know when the effect will pop off, and the buckler has a similar sort of meter to let you know when your shield is going to come back. I like it when games kind of surface that sort of information to you, right? Let you know. Let you plan that kind of thing, at least. Pretty cool. Ah, man, wave 10. Alright. We need a distraction. Yeah, even if what these games ultimately come down to is like a DPS check. It's like all the things gather up to trying to meet that sort of DPS check or fall otherwise. There is a certain amount of fun to just, making more stuff come out, making the numbers bigger, making larger swaths of enemies fall to your hands. It's a real easy power fantasy, if you will. Let's see if I can get that boulder evolved. Might re-roll a few times to try to get boulder show up on the list. Next level up. We're almost 2/3 of the way through this run here. About to hit minute 10, wave 11. It's a good thing I have this buckler. It gives me a bit of a leeway, so I can't quite juke an enemy. I can just, run into it, take the hit, and let the buckler recharge to absorb another one. Alright, that... Ah, man, when you see that purple mark start to move, like, a bit more significantly, and the icon getting bigger, it's like, oh yeah, finally, we're about to reach the goal! And here we are, time to fight another spooter. I'm gonna take you out. Here, go look at the shiny thing while I pump you full of magic and metal. Alright, where's the next optional boss? Ah, I had to continue southwest. Sheesh. That's right, we're gonna end up in New Mexico. At least whatever the Army of Ruin equivalent of New Mexico is. There's a trinket back there, but I don't even have I don't have optional bosses as a requirement, so I might as well go pick up the charm. Again, I said the wrong thing. Yeah, get the charm, because that'll give me much more of a boost than the chest probably would. Although I should probably just hang around here, see if I can kill these big fellas. 'Cause they're gonna auto die once the minute is done. Ow. Yeah, just kill them up, get the red gems, increase experience. Curse that boulder does not seem to want... Oh, just as I said that, I get landslide. Alright, now I need a chest to drop. Ooh, I'm gonna have a chest to drop because I got that boss starting to walk in on me. Hey, watch your step. I wondered why the landslide has ice infusions, because it becomes avalanche. This is like the one time where elemental infusions actually make sense, right? It requires 2 ice, so of course it would become an avalanche. Unstoppable snowballs that can freeze enemies in its path. It works out pretty well. It's considered, okay. You work back towards the... Oh wait, never mind. It's a ton of enemies here. This is the big experience wave right here. gonna stick around and see if I can try to walk my way towards the charm. I have a feeling the final wave's gonna start before I get there, but it'll be fine. I think I have the DPS so far needed to just cut my way through everything here. That said, things could change in the last 2 waves when they continue changing the enemy compositions. Ooh, get the suck. Oh man, how many levels am I gonna jump from this? Oh, this is gonna be big. Look at that. Level up, level up. They don't stop coming. Oh, they're just rolling in. Yeah, baby. Ooh. That was a good one. That was a good one. Alright, we're back to this, so maybe it's time to keep moving. You know, the worst part about those invincible enemies is I always seem to get them to show up when I like reach a spot where I gotta be stationary, right? Whenever I get to a charm spot, it's like, oh hey, there's a bunch of invincible enemies now. I mean, it's probably just a bad coincidence, but I find it funny, like the timing of it all. And vtubers and unintentionally timed moments name a more iconic duo. I've seen that a lot, right? It's like they say something and then something happens that's just couldn't be timed any better to what they said. It's like, oh my god. Yep, I got minute 10. I might be able to make my way towards the charm drop. Here, go look at the shiny distraction for a little while I just sneak my way towards the charm here. So, that's another thing I should mention. Chests can just randomly drop, right? You don't need to defeat a boss specifically. They can just drop. Which is kind of nice. Ah, here we go. Wow, 30 seconds to spare. And no invincible enemies to contend with either. Although I do have a decoy, so I could have kept them busy for a little bit, but shouldn't be too bad. I still have the DPS. I still got lots of DPS. Alright, what am I gonna get? What am I gonna get? Finesse, Eternity, and Bravery. Look at that. And it's boosted even. So I get 50% damage, a little less speed, but I feel like at this point, don't need to worry about speed anymore because I don't need to get anywhere. So yeah, you saw boss wave started, optional boss disappears. It's like, well, time for that is over. Now go battle the main baddie. Yeah, this one says slightly different behavior as well, right? Instead of just coming towards me all the time, it's like, oh, I get close enough, it starts backing off. Right? It's a bit more reliant on shooting its minions at me to try to take me on. It's okay, I managed to weed whack it all the same. Alright, Graveyard is now significantly less weedy. Man. Gotta give it out to those people who maintain graveyards. It's gotta be a very, a solemn and a solitary job. So, like, you just gotta go out there and make sure things are maintained, make sure there are no hooligans trying to pull off any antics. I imagine that's probably good for, like, a certain set of people, right? Who just want to kind of be there with their thoughts and not have to contend with folks, at least not often. In any case, wow, we completed a good number of challenges here. Yeah, look at that. Managed to max level a weapon the first time. Managed to get a character to a certain experience level the first time. Evolved a weapon for the first time. Yeah, we're gonna get a good number of unlocks from this, folks. Got ourselves the evolution. Unlocked the weapon for general use, so now other characters can start getting that weapon as well. And a new trinket. Huh. This is very boring but practical health regen. Little by little, we make some progress. Look at that. 5 trinkets left to get. But I have not unlocked any additional... I have unlocked new charms, but they're the ones that are like super easy to get. Got these other ones here that require a bit more significant feats, like kill 7,500 enemies, reach a certain experience level with characters, defeat all special bosses with a certain trinket. Okay, some of these don't look too bad, actually. But let's show off the other area, the 4th area that I have not been to yet. We'll see if we can do the 3rd version of it. Straight up 20 waves, 20 minutes. Alright, complete the stage with Frozen Shard. And looks like I have an Ice Rain stipulation. It would be good for this. I feel like this level seems to cause me no amount of trouble, so maybe I'll go with a heal here. A little healing always helps. I forgot. What did I have to do again? Nice thing is that you can always check your challenges during a run, so you don't have to try to memorize them or anything. Alright, complete the stage with Frozen Shard. So you can always give yourself a quick refresher if you need it. Wow, Panacea just shows up here. I've always hated the ones that give me a boost when standing still, because these types of games, you don't want to stand still. It's not what you want to do. There are things that you want to kind of get to that require you to move, and also enemies will like run you over. They will overwhelm you if you stay in one place. You always got to reposition yourself so that you always can stay ahead of the crowd. I'm wondering if I want to take another nature. Knowing that I need Frozen Shard. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Since it gives me a damage boost against bosses and elites, and well, you know, knowing enemies with the large life bars, it's always useful to have something to help you take it on. I need fire, so I'll take the coin purse. Just need Ice Shard to show up at some point. Explosive flask. God. Yeah, you have enemies too. The old classic enemy type. You kill them, and then they explode on death. Oh man. 2 weapons that would go well with the current infusions I have. Now let's go with Wolf's Fang, actually. Ah, there we go. Frozen Shard, and oh man. So yeah, once I pick this up, next 3 elements are going to be kind of sort of locked in. I'm going to need a wind trinket, I'm going to need an ice trinket, I'm going to need a light trinket. Also means I'm going to have to forego picking up any dark trinkets. Bit of a shame, because some of my favorite trinkets are in the dark category, but sometimes sacrifices have to be made. That's the thing with these sorts of builds, right? You always gotta make sure that there's like no one super optimal build for people to work towards. Ooh, I like this one, Spark Belt. Every 15 seconds, enemies within 8 meters are dealt 15 damage and are stunned for 3 seconds. Yeah, so I can't pick up any more wind trinkets. Also, Twist Tornado, right out. It's right out because I cannot... I could pick it up, I just won't be able to evolve it. And I'm not too much of a fan of that weapon either, so... Just re-roll here. Ooh. I don't think we've seen Jellyfish Ashes yet. It's basically it's like a drone, basically. A little drone that shoots at other enemies. You've seen them, you know, you kind of figure how they work. Yeah, we'll get Storm Javelin, because, yeah, I'm gonna get Ice and Light, so I'll be able to evolve that eventually. Let's see, I forget, was the requirement to finish the stage with Shard, or do I have to... Okay, I only need to have Frozen Shard. But you know, there's the obvious requirement that I also have to actually complete the stage and not die. Curse it all, none of these are... Or no, I could pick up... Is Buckler synergistic or not? I forget. I forget if Thorns is like, they need to just touch you, or you have to actually take damage. I think I might want another ice-infused trinket anyway, so we'll go ahead and just re-roll that. Don't know about Ice Mirror. Magic Needle? I think this will be fine. I do have an area increase that'll help me offset the area decrease this trinket provides. I guess that's kind of the pitfall of damage boost, right? It's like, sure, you could add other sorts of unique items, but 9 times out of 10, the things that give you damage boost will usually do much better for you in the long run. That being said, it's not the end of the world if you don't get damage boost. It just, you gotta work towards other things. And okay, I just need some sort of light trinket, so we'll pick up the next one we find, whatever that may be. Yeah, more Storm Javelin. It's kind of like the Holy Water. Yeah, we'll keep holding out. I do have a limited number of banishes and rerolls. I don't wanna waste them all, right? When you reach that nightmare scenario of, oh hey, you're out of rerolls and banishes, and the only things you can pick up will completely close off the path towards, getting the particular item you want or the ability to evolve a particular weapon. Alright, here we go. Pick of 2. Why don't we just get... And... Yeah, for kicks, let's get the spice. Eat food, increased fire rate, and experience gain. Why not? There's plenty of food on the field, so we'll get plenty of mileage out of that trinket for sure. And the stuff don't stop coming, they don't stop coming. I want to say, for the most part, if you're looking to evolve all your weapons, probably no reason to take more than 2 of a particular element. That being said, since they do have elemental overload, there's nothing stopping you from, say, picking up like 5 darkness trinkets, or 6 darkness trinkets, and just getting yourself a massive attack boost. You just have to, contend with only being able to evolve like a handful of weapons. Pretty close to the optional boss. Ah, there it is. There you are. Go ahead and stab you, silly goblin. That's right. Goblin will gob no more. There are a number of trinkets in Army of Ruin that are kind of like, yeah, boost in one area, penalty in another area. Like all the charms. Sometimes it's a case of finding other items to kind of mitigate that penalty, or just picking weapons that don't care about whatever stat penalty you're getting at all. Hey, upgrade to the Spark Belt. Didn't realize I haven't leveled it up at all. I think about it, I don't think I've run into much food either. Although I am getting hurt a lot. Oh, the book is fun. Just massively increases your firing rate, so everything just pops off and you just watch everything die. I think this is this game's equivalent of your attack, super attack booster. Alright, I gotta get to the charm space and start powering it up before I reach a more difficult wave. And after that, I gotta continue heading west so I can face off the next optional special boss. Alright, we'll upgrade the Wolf's Fang. Alright, which charms do I get to pick from? Yeah, they recommend this one. Attack size boost. It's a big attack size boost. A small damage penalty, but, while things considered, making your attacks massive is kind of a fair enough trade-off. It just makes your AoE bigger. I like the evolved Necromancer gauntlets. I feel like that's like pretty synergistic with what this character is meant to do. Considering they also start off with a weapon. Why not? money gain, because we all like money over here. Unless it's weapons. My priority is usually upgrade weapons. If I can't upgrade weapon, then upgrade a trinket. Although there are certain trinkets that I will prioritize over upgrading weapons. Like, for example, if I have like an experience boosting trinket, yeah, I'm gonna boost that out first. Why not increase the rate of experience I gain as quickly as I can? That way I can get much more benefit out of it. That's the way I like it. Any way you want it, that's the way I need it. Any way you want it. Something about Journey songs always make them fantastic karaoke songs. I mean, we all know the most popular one, Don't Stop Believin'. You bust that out and people are always gonna join you. It's just a nice message overall, right? It's like, sure, you might start on the bottom, you might start as a little scrappy thing, but as long as you keep hope alive, yeah, just keep hope alive, right? Just keep it alive. But they got some other good songs in there. Separate Ways is kind of another favorite of mine. I guess for the opposite reasons. That's like, that one is just like, yeah, you know what? We're all gonna still kick butt even if we're all parting ways. Right. Always gives you that bittersweet feeling. Man, imagine we've all had that moment, right? When you leave a school, or you leave your college, or you're leaving a job, even leaving a group of friends, you're moving far away. Like, yep, this is where our paths may diverge, but you know, we're doing what's best. Gotta hang on to everything that you liked. Remember those moments and keep them close to you. Yeah, Any Way You Want It, the one I just sang. Also a good one. It's only one thing I dislike about it, and it's not really related to the song itself. It's just like the circumstances around it. Song, you could play it in Rock Band 2, right? It's one of the songs you could play in Rock Band 2, but unfortunately, you can only play it in Rock Band 2. Like, even when you do like the song transfer Any Way You Want, it's specifically not one of the songs you can import into other games, and that sucks because the song rules. Right, you know, even if they have like Don't Stop Believin', which is like the song people would want and is arguably like the better song, it still feels bad when you got a song that you know is only going to be on the one game ever. You won't ever see it anywhere else. I'm doing okay so far. Seems like I'm actually keeping the horde at bay. I think my DPS is going at an okay clip for now. That being said, we're not halfway. We're only close to halfway through the run so far, so things could still change. That's the other thing about these sorts of games, right? Things are going well until you get that one moment where it all goes south, right? You can kind of see the moment at which the tower just starts falling over. You're like, oh no! I only have one weapon evolved so far. That said, level ups have not been... Oh, wait, there's a charm over there. I should probably swing back around to get that. It's a little larger, so that means it's closer. Alright, we'll upgrade the Seal of Purity. Yeah, there's plenty of bosses and elites remaining, so we'll get a good amount of mileage out of it. And yeah, as you saw, it also restores my health and skill cooldown, so every reason to pick it up. It's like a extra health pack in a way. Oh, there it is. There's our charm spot. Just should stand over here and let my weapons stab everything. Oh man, forgot the stationary enemies. Alright, what do I get to pick from? Man, I'm not gonna get a boost off any of these. Guess might as well go with Retribution since, you know, this character's all about the Thorns damage. Might as well boost the Thorns damage. Alright, we're gonna get an Evo out of this one. Wolf's Fang, a short-range attack that poisons enemies. Alright, now time to start walking towards the optional boss again. Damn it, why did a chest have to appear east of me? Yeah, only one weapon upgrade there, so choice is obvious. Oh my god. This optional boss is pretty far away. Probably gonna be several minutes before I actually reach it. This is where speed upgrades would sometimes come in handy. Oop. So yeah, you might see on the field also some enemies have like a yellow mark under them. That kind of also signals that they're like significantly stronger types of the base enemies. And if you defeat them, they will drop something. It could be food, it could be money, sometimes it's a power-up. Sometimes it is worth hunting them down to get whatever they might have for you. Alright. Wow, this is actually the third optional boss I'm facing off against. I don't know why they make those so easy. Like, they drop like flies. Serrated spears. Okay, so this is the one of the few weapons that actually has a pretty significant functionality change. So yeah. Before it's like the original spear, it just thrusts multiple times in a small area. This one is just a wide AoE attack, and it's just like the one thrust. So yeah, it does change the strategy up, right? You might pick up the spears at first. You want like some sort of ranged DPS weapon that still lets you keep it at bay, but this one seems to more encourage either getting into a crowd or getting real up close to an enemy so that all the spears hit it for maximum damage. So that might be like one of those cases where you might not want to meet the Evo requirements if you like the base weapons functionality. And, well, the game is in early access, so they could still tweak it, but for now, this is one of those weapons where you might want... where there is a reason for you to not evolve it. Okay, wow, we're actually at 3 out of 4 optional bosses. It's 6 minutes remaining in this run. I might have a good shot. Like, even though there's, like, no incentive to do it at the moment. Oh, I think we got ourselves a small fry around here. So yeah, this is the stage that also only allows you to go left and right. But, you know, it means certain weapons are stronger here. Certain ones might be weaker as well. Like the one I picked up like a couple runs ago, like the cross. It's maybe not quite as effective, considering you can only go left and right, and that one also shoots up and down. There's another weapon in here. It's like a pair of flintlock pistols. Might have shown up in the list somewhere, but yeah. That particular weapon fires left and right, you imagine. Super strong here, because the enemies will always be coming in that direction. I I don't have enough time to make my way towards the 4th special boss. Small fry are helping to get my level up. Sorry, big boss hermit crab, I have afraid to say you've been evicted. So yeah, this is the one I like, right? Health steal capabilities. Always like a good way to restore your health, right? Alternative ways to restore your health, keep it topped up. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to rely on just pickups to restore your health. I'm somewhat amused by the food choices they use to represent health restoration. Like you got the little poultry leg as your little small heal. Half of an avocado as like your medium heal, and then the giant slice of watermelon as your big heal. It's interesting picks for that, for heals. Let's upgrade coin purse, I guess, for a little extra money gain. We are sitting on a nice stack of money here, but always good to have more. One of the features that always amuses me when they put it in a game is like a toggle or some sort of option to kind of change what you see for healing items, right? Like Streets of Rage 4 does that. Where they have like the series mainstays of the small heal apple and the big heal chicken, but you can change it if you want to. So if you want to say change the big heal to like a giant bowl of ramen, or like a giant pizza, or like a hamburger or a steak or something like that, and the small heal you can change it to like like a durian or a taco. Or the thing is, you can change the food, so kind of funny. Oh, I think they also have like vegetarian options too, so you can change like the big heal to like a giant bowl of salad if you wanted. I found that pretty amusing. I wonder if they have like a pescatarian option. I forgot if they had a pescatarian option. Would not mind a giant fish though. I enjoy eating fish. Can't say why. I think I used to be like neutral towards fish, but I started enjoying fish. Oh, there we go. Final optional boss. Hey, we managed to make it. We just insta-killed it. We vaporized it once we got up close with the spears. Hey, everything's... Ooh, wow, 5 of them. Always liked a good 5er. Alright, we're gonna get Ice Shard upgraded to the Frozen Harpoon. Pierces several enemies. So we do have a frontward weapon and a backwards weapon. Yeah. You can see some of the weapons are determined on where you're facing. I gotta remember someone did ask about, hey, you guys ever think of planning on adding like some sort of way to like lock strafe, perhaps, or well, like a twin stick or something like that? I think they actually did respond. They'd say, yeah, we don't have any plans of putting that in, right? Because these weapons are balanced around the fact that you can only aim them in a certain way. Which I can at least understand, right? It's like, yeah, that's their downside, right? They don't auto-aim, they're not AoE, you do have to point them in a particular direction. You do have to put some thought about where you want to direct the attack. So I know other games did eventually add in, like, other means of control. Like, I think, Hollow Cure did allow you to like lock the direction in which you're attacking, though they eventually... I want to say they eventually... Actually, I think they just eventually added controller support. They don't think they had like lock strafe or twin stick or anything like that. Or I might be wrong. I might have added that in since I last played. I wanna walk over to the charm spot. It does feel like the most amount of charms that can appear during a run is like three on when you hit like the 3 version of a stage. Oh boy. We've gotten to a point where the crowd might be a bit too much to handle our current DPS rate. Hopefully we can at least survive to the boss wave, and then we can take them on. Thankfully I got plenty of thorns damage, so anything that touches me will fall pretty quickly. I got the suck. I need to get to the suck. There we go. It's time for a big jump. The big jump. The big jump. I don't know what it is about that song that I like. Every time I hear someone say the big jump, I can only think about the Chemical Brothers song. I first heard it in Burnout Revenge. I think it was just like the right amount of odd and intense kind of techno type song. Fit with the mood of the game very well. That much is certain. Ooh, another suck, but I used one recently, so that's not going to be of much use. At the very least, charm boxes don't disappear when the final wave starts, so at least hang around here and get one last boost. One final effort. Alright. What you got for me, Charm Crate? Roll the gotcha and... Dang it. None of these are gonna get boosted. Might as well go with this. It's a fire rate boost. There's a damage penalty to it, but hopefully the plus 25% fire rate will help offset that. Alright, we'll get the suck. Then take him on. Yeah, another fairly unique boss. This one's got orbiting swords, so you have a certain minimum and maximum range you want to be at. Obviously, you want to stay away from the boss, make sure it doesn't touch you, but you don't want to get too far because then the swords will hit you, and the swords slow you down too, so it's going to be real bad if they manage to affect you. Ah, okay. I need to make sure I'm facing the boss so that the spears hit it in the face all the time. Just keep going back and forth, back and forth. Oh my god, they're overwhelming me. Oh my god, why did they have to drop hermit crabs? I don't need hermit crabs. Okay. Health is okay, I think I'm good. I'm good. Woo! Alright. Made it. Woohoo! There we go. Another run done. I want to see the path I took. I went east, and then I went west for a bit, all the way across the screen. Yeah, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's what this stage is all about anyway, because that's all you can go. I have to assume in the final game we're gonna get like one area for each element, so... no, the marine necklace. Every 50 experience gems picked up. Ah, okay, it does an AoE damage plus freeze. Alright, that's an interesting one. Alright, we're getting close. 4 trinkets to go. So yeah, you can see we have the dark-themed area, the nature-themed area, fire, ice, so... That's all we really need is like water, or wind and light-themed areas. And depending on where they go... we'll see how this pans out, right? What upgrades can... Ooh, wow! Usually I visit the upgrade screen after every run, but I wanted to keep things moving slowly, so I just... smoothly, so I kept going back into stages now. Sitting on a good stack of money here. Well, might as well go for the meta upgrades, right? While it's still relevant, just to increase the amount of money I can pick up. Look at that, 135%. That's all. I'm gonna be getting lots of money in my future runs. After that, maybe I'll work towards experience, and then for that fire rate. I don't know, maybe after that it might be a bit in the air. extra lives. They're kind of a double-edged sword, right? Most of the time, if you die, it's usually because you don't have enough damage to kind of survive the wave, so I feel like getting extra lives just kind of puts you in a death loop, right? Because you're only going to get back up only to get overwhelmed again, only to fall. Yeah, so you might have noticed the trinket that popped up occasionally, the soul jar. Current effect is you get additional lives, and you get a damage boost every time you fall. It used to be that you just get extra lives, but I think they wanted to make that a little bit more appealing and make it a bit more meaningful, right? So it's not just dead weight. It's not just, hey, endless cycle of death and rebirth. Give you a little bit of edge. Maybe it'll help you survive this current wave and future waves as you get a small damage boost every time you fall. I can dig that. Yeah. Man. They had like 2 charms. I think you start off with like a handful of charms. I think it's like 6 or 8. Yeah, the first few you get like super duper easy to get, and then you got some here that you gotta kind of work your way in. Right? It's like, yeah, you gotta go to Ruin level 3. Some of these, or actually most of these. I had to assume like the rest of these will require Ruin 3 in a particular stage, but yeah. The rest of these charms you're not gonna be seeing for a while. Yeah, quick run through the features. Yeah, you don't start with things like charms, elemental overload, endless stages, epic upgrade. Yeah, well, I think one of the very first ones you get are like special bosses and exploration prize. So you get power-ups and chests that spawn from time to time. You get special bosses, optional bosses. Drop more chests and rune levels. You don't even start with this, you gotta unlock it. Thankfully, most of these are just unlocked by getting a certain number of stars, so that's easy enough to get. But yeah, this is Army of Ruin. Top-down, bullet hell, like horde survival. It's another one of those, but it's a pretty good one of those. I think they do enough things to kind of stand out, make things a bit more manageable for you. Right, I like the elemental infusion system. You don't have to pick up a specific passive, you just need one from a category of passives. And they all have unique effects too, right? It's not like... this is a one time where I can appreciate that certain elements are not themed towards certain things. So like, for example, fire is not all about damage, ice is not all about defense and all that. You do get like a unique mix of effects within there, so... yeah, if you want to pick up like multiples of a certain element, you don't have to constrain yourself to like a specific type of build. You do have more restrictions in a way, but it's not as restrictive as it might be in other games of its ilk. So I will give this a revisit once we get a couple more updates. I'm eager to see how many more carrots on a stick we'll get, what other features they might have, what sorts of areas and enemies we might encounter, characters, mechanics. I do want to see how this plays out. Also, if this will get a plot of some sort. I know they have like a summary on the store page, but what is the reason why all these heroes have to fight against the Army of Ruin now? Also, is it in the same universe as Ziggurat? It's not going to matter like a bit. It's not even going to matter a single bit. But I just want to know. In any case, that's Army of Ruin. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. I think I will end the stream here. I'm actually going to be out next weekend. I have more weekend commitments, so I'm going to be just out completely. So no weekend streams next weekend. I don't know if I'll do additional streams during the week either. I kind of need extra time during the week to handle other things, so we'll probably just be 2. We'll probably just be 2 streams. We'll do a racing game on Wednesday. We'll continue The Legend of Wright on Friday. I think that's what it'll be. Things could change between now and then, so we'll see. I'll have a schedule tomorrow. I'll have everything determined by then. Yeah. I'll do it. Let's see who we can raid here. We're in the afternoon, evening for European time, so always someone here I can send the folks off to. Huh. It's rather amusing. A particular tag I'm searching for, it's like way smaller now. I wonder if it's just a side effect of people in the US usually don't stream during the afternoon. That's gotta be it. Most of them do the evening hours. It's definitely a lot more people here in the evening, I've noticed. I guess it makes sense, because, you know, most people would be, if it's, they would either be working or they would be out and about one way or another, because you just want to do things during the day. Right, when it's light out, that's when you want to get things done. It's a perfectly reasonable assessment to make. At least in the US. I know in Europe it's like closer to evening there, so they would be more likely to just on. I like having streams at different times too, again, because they count for time zones, right? People who try to check in during the week would have to be up really late if they're in Europe, and it would be like early morning in Southeast Asia time, so... Of course, this time's not very conductive for Southeast Asia, if I remember correctly, because it's like middle of the night for them. But again, you can't satisfy everyone, so you have to make your decision one way or another. Oh man. Well, I saw someone raid, but I think they're ending stream, so... oh well. And I find myself wrought with decision paralysis. Like, okay, who do I want to choose this time to raid? Swear I'm gonna pick out something eventually. I just sometimes the siding is just bleh. Okay. Okay, you know what? I think I have decided. Let's go raid, gets Pasafez? Maybe that's how you pronounce that? Anyways, they're playing Devil May Cry 2. Might be a nice cool down Heh. Going from survival game to not very well regarded Devil May Cry game. Yeah, alright. You're joining on the raid, I guess. Hit him with Ruin raid. Otherwise, good rest of your weekend. I will see you Wednesday.